Hey everybody, how's it going? So, it's beautiful outside and I'm loving it. Soaking in some sunshine, right? So, today I wanted to talk about therapy. It's there's a lot. There's a lot with therapy, but I just wanted to kind of touch on the topic a little bit today, and then maybe future videos dig in some more. Before I jump in though, I wanted to just open the floor to questions. So if you guys have questions about anything related to this process, mental health, grief, death, cancer, any of the topics, feel free to put them in the comments. And instead of replying to all comments like we used to do, because that's really taxing and exhausting at times when we're doing life. So if you want to put those in the comments, those questions, I will look for common themes or regular questions that come up, and I can respond to those in videos instead. And that way we're also talking about things that are helpful to you guys as well. And I can address things that have worked for me. And whether or not they'll work for other people, you know, that's all, it's all individual in how we deal with our lives, our deaths, our griefs, our mental health in general overall. So, all right, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Anyways, let's talk about therapy, because one of the things that I have learned since I started doing therapy, and since I started meeting other people that have been doing therapy specifically because of grief, and then realized how many other people, now that I'm getting to know more people in general, how many other people are doing therapy in one way or another. And I've found that a lot of us are afraid to do therapy. We're afraid to be judged. We're afraid to be judged by our peers, but also by the therapist, because our shit, you know, sometimes it's just off the wall, right? And so we get worried that they're gonna judge us or try and fix us, or just like try to change our behavior. And what I've learned from my experience and from talking with my friends that are doing therapy is, it's not that they're trying to fix us, it's that we're trying to find some inner peace. We're trying to fix potential problems that we see in ourselves that we want to adjust. For example, I've got some OCD-ish behaviors, right? And so I'm trying to find ways to manage that without medicine. That was another drawback. People worried about getting medicated because they do therapy. And so I'm one of the things I'm appreciating about my therapy is that I am learning how to deal with different things, or how to cope with different things, or how to address different behaviors that I have. For me, not for anybody else. I mean, when I feel anxious about something, it's not because somebody else is doing something. It's because I feel anxious about it, because I have whatever going on in me that makes me feel that way. And I'm learning different skills to deal with that. So first off, the first thing, now that we're 4 minutes in, the first thing is therapy for me, and for the people that I've talked with that also do therapy, isn't about fixing anything. A lot of it's about saying out loud things that are inside that you normally wouldn't. For me, it started with saying things that I would have been able to say to Sarah, and now I have nobody to say those things to. And therapy has become a place where I can say those things without judgment, and with some actual really good feedback and validation and understanding. So without Sarah, I didn't have an outlet for some of these thoughts, some of these feelings, some of the things that I'm dealing with. And obviously there's a lot that came with Sarah's death that I had to process, and my therapist helped me process that stuff. But beyond grief, the therapist has also helped me understand some of the other behaviors that I'm noticing about myself that I'm like, I really don't like that, or that I feel this way about this, and so I'm able to talk to her and talk through, a scenario or a situation or something that's coming that I'm feeling nervous about, or that I feel like my OCD is going to make it difficult for me to be patient, right? And so I can talk with her about those things, and she doesn't try to fix it. She validates the reality of what I'm feeling, which is wonderful, because it's nice to be validated, right? And nice that somebody can be like, yeah, that's a legit feeling, and it makes sense. But then she'll also ask questions, and not questions to be like, to make me doubt myself, or but questions to help me consider options, consider routes to take, to consider ways to cope, to consider ways to deal with patience. And so it becomes a conversation very much led by me. I talk, and she gives some feedback or some tidbits or little nuggets of knowledge or understanding. And it's really, really helped me in this new life that I'm living. It's helped me understand my children a little bit better, and their behaviors, and how to cope with them, and how to help them cope with them. And so it's just been really great. Now, one of the best things I have found with therapy isn't just from my therapist. It's from talking with other people that are also doing therapy. So we're taking our, let's just say, millions of dollars of therapy amongst me and my peers, and we're bringing it together, and we're sharing these little nuggets that we're learning with each other without judgment. And it's pretty damn cool. It's amazing. It's amazing because we all have different experiences. And many of us have similar anxieties, similar concerns, similar issues, thinking about the past, the future, the present. And so we all have these things going on, but we all have different ways of coping, and we all have different resources teaching us how to get through these feelings that we have. And so what I've learned is other people that are going through therapy, and they aren't necessarily saying, yeah, my therapist said that I need to blah, 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 or it's, I learned about myself that I can, and so they share these things. I had one person share with a small group, actually, because it was a grief group, and they shared how they are working with their children when their children ask, what if? Because when they've had a parent die, the what ifs can go to a really, really dark, scary, sad, hard to discuss place. For example, what if Braden were to go down that road, what if I were to die and he were to be left alone? He wouldn't have any parents, and or what if grandma and grandpa died, or what if, and so you can get down this really bad place, and we as adults do it too. But one of the things she is learning to do, this peer of mine, and she was sharing with us that with her kids, she really focuses on what if versus what is. And it was absolutely amazing when she was talking about it, because we can't control the what ifs, but we can definitely control what is happening right now. And so it also helped me realize that, so with Sarah's death, I didn't do what if. I didn't do I wish I could have. I didn't, none of that stuff. I really, really wouldn't have changed anything about the process that we went through. We did it to the best of our ability. And so there's no woulda, shoulda, couldas in my mind, and there's no I wishes or anything like that. And I think that's helped me move forward in a much more positive way. But when my peer had said the what if versus what is, I realized how much I what if everything else in my life. I'm always in the future, whether it be tomorrow, 1 week, 1 year, 10 years, 20 years. I'm in the future trying to figure out how I'm going to make all of these different things in my life happen. So everything is a what if. And I realized when she was talking about that how much I do this, and then over the next week, 2 weeks, I really was very cognizant of how much I was what-ifing. And anytime I realized I was going down a what-if rabbit hole, I would take a deep breath, which feels amazing, and I would make myself think about, or even say out loud, 3 things that are what is or what are's, you know, and really focus on what's happening around me right now. And so that was a little nugget that I got from somebody else, but there's been lots of little things that have helped me learn to cope better. And it's not just because I'm doing therapy, but it's because my peers are doing therapy, and we share the things that help us. And it's been pretty amazing. And I want to point out, anybody that's made it to almost 12 minutes with me, that it doesn't matter why somebody's doing therapy. What matters is that they're getting what they need from it. And it doesn't, like, the why or the type of therapy that somebody's getting doesn't mean it's not that they aren't gonna have little nuggets for you, because they're working on themselves, and things that help them may be able to help you. So if somebody's going through therapy just because they felt they need it, versus bereavement, versus divorce, versus any other reason to go to therapy, just childhood trauma, whatever, all of those different types of therapy can come out with things that can help others. So if you have other peers that are also doing therapy, then make sure you're, like, if you find things that help, that you share those, because it's beneficial. And it may not work for them, something may not help them, but it's at least something to chew on, you know. I've heard lots of little tidbits that don't work for me, and that's okay. But I've also said little tidbits that don't work for other people, and vice versa, right? So yeah, probably should have said this at the beginning, but just because I do therapy and a lot of other people do therapy doesn't mean it's for everybody. And so there's no expectation that everybody does it, but it's definitely been a wonderful, wonderful resource and support as I'm going through this life. So yeah. All right. I think that's all for now. This video ended up being a lot longer than I was expecting. So I'm going to leave it there. If you guys have questions, make sure you leave them in the comments. Have a wonderful day, morning, night, wherever you are. Remember, be kind, make good choices, and I will see you next time. Bye.